Welcome, everyone, to Body, Mind, Soul Show. And today, April 9th, 2024, my topic is PT, Physical Therapy, General Principles. And before we get started, I want to thank my sponsors. Jerry Petito, author of this book, I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass, but I'd rather be a dumbass. I'm sorry, she'd rather be a smart ass than a dumbass. Jerry Petito wrote this book. She's been recovered and from using drugs since 1991. It's an awesome book, and I recommend it. Jerry is also a radio show host, and she's here at Hamilton Radio, and she is also an international internet radio show Hall of Fame host. So, Jerry Petito, thank you so much for sponsoring Body, Mind, Soul Show. Okay, I want to throw out an advertisement for my sister-in-law, Deanne Katsaros. She's also mortgage mom, and she is also a radio show host, and she's on WPST Radio, WPHT Radio, which is 1210 on the AM dial. And you could find her there on Saturdays at 1 p.m. And she co-hosts with Mark Cumberland. And their show is called Good News in Real Estate. And it's a great show. It's funny, it's informative, so check her out. And if you have any questions about mortgage, I'll give you her number, 609-605-7153. Okay? That's Mortgage Mom. Okay, and just so everyone is aware that I am a physical therapist, a doctor of physical therapy, for about 37 years now. And if you want to find me, you can reach me at North Jersey Physical Therapy. The number's on the screen. I have been there over 10 years. I'm also an author of this book, Posture, Simply Posture, Correct Simply. And this book can be found at Archway Publishing. And that information is also located in the notes. Okay, so today's topic, physical therapy, general principles. And you know, I say general principles because I just want to make this known to everyone. The first one is very important, and that is there must be pain-free, active range of motion before you start a strengthening program. Now, I know that there's a lot of people, they'll come in and they'll say, you know, I've been working out, and every time I go up this high, I get pain in my shoulder, you know, and they'll point to that one shoulder, and they repeat it for their repetitions and their sets, and they're still in pain. Like, let me just say that when your joint is in pain, your brain shuts off the muscles. Okay, that goes for the knees, the hips, the ankle, the foot, the wrist, the elbow, the hand. Okay, we're talking when there is pain, the brain shuts off the muscles. So you've heard of people saying, I dropped the cup. You know, it's yes, they've gotten weaker, but there was also a little bit of pain that occurred, and boom, there was no strength, and they dropped the cup. So in physical therapy, that's a general principle. We have to restore the range of motion first. And there are various ways to do that. Eliminate gravity is one of them. Assist it with the other side or with a slide versus a lift. There are various ways to go through a range at the pain-free level. And so if you don't have the full range pain-free, then you only go to where you have pain-free range, and you work on it. And that is how I coach my, and guide my clients and my patients. So that is number one principle, okay? Pain-free, active range of motion before strengthening. And if you're going to strengthen, do it in the pain-free range. All right, that's the other message. All right, so the second general principle is pain is what the patient reports their pain to be. Okay, there's pain scales, 0 to 10. Now, that was developed in the 90s, and each number corresponds to one of those face emojis, okay? So 0 pain would be this huge smile. And 10 would be the big frown with tears coming down, okay? That's 0 to 10. And there's everything in between. Now, how I describe pain so that the person could give me an accurate number, okay, is, 0 is obvious. There's no pain. 1 and 2 are like an awareness, a subtle awareness. 3 becomes an ache. 4 is a little bit more of an ache, almost like an aggravating ache. And then 5 is too much to ignore. Then 6 is a little bit too much more to ignore. And then 7 and 8, you are feeling intense pain and you're thinking about going to the doctor or going to the therapist or doing something about it. And 9 and 10 is you're definitely feeling nauseous and you may even pass out. So pain is what the patient reports their pain to be. And when I ask that question, I give people an explanation of each number so that they can report it accurately. Okay. Okay, so that's the second general principle, which I think is an important one. It is really not appropriate when someone's in pain to actually say that person can't possibly be in that much pain. They don't look like they're in pain. And that is not really a kind thing. We learn in the medical world that pain is what the patient reports it to be. There is no way I am going to feel or know what that person is experiencing. So we have to take their reporting for what it's worth exactly. Okay, whatever they're reporting, that's their pain. All righty, no matter what your opinion is. Okay, so that takes us to number 3, okay? The third general principle here is engaging the core from the bottom up. And I say to engage that core from the bottom up to mean that if you were to lift your attachment of the abdominal muscle, which is the pubic bone, if you were to lift up and then raise the breastbone that would be engaging the core, and then you're all set to do any kind of movement, engaging that core. And I also think it's important to engage that core from the bottom up, so we're not letting gravity push us down. Okay, gravity pushes us down. It's this invisible force that is constantly on us. So our muscles have to really go opposite, so up. So from the bottom up. And that is what I mean by engaging the core from the bottom up. Okay. The fourth principle. Now this one is having to do with strengthening in 3 different parts of the muscle. Now, let's take the biceps, because you can see it and it's obvious, okay? So the action of the bicep is there's actually 2 actions: to bend the elbow, okay? And it's also, the other action is to lift the shoulder, okay? So elbow and shoulder. So it's almost like doing a undercut punch. See, that's biceps, okay? Now, there are 3 different ways to strengthen this bicep. One of them is called isometric. Isometric means no movement of the joint, but just contracting the muscle without any movement. So right now, I'm thinking, bend my elbow, raise my arm, and I'm thinking it, and these muscles are contracting. That's called isometric, okay? Iso meaning the same. My joint stays the same. There is no movement, and I contract. Okay, so that's isometric. The next way of strengthening is called eccentric, so that if I'm holding onto a weight, so we'll take this as a weight, and I am using my biceps, and I'm lengthening the muscle, that is called eccentric. And then to shorten the muscle, I then bring that back up. That's called concentric. So to put all that together into a healthy range of motion, pain-free, now I want to strengthen. So I'm holding, let's start with a 2-pound weight, and I go, so from a straight position, I want to curl up, and I go up, I hold, that would be isometric, and then I lower slowly, that would be eccentric. So concentric for up, hold for 2, 1, 2, and then lower for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be, so concentric, then hold, isometric, and then lower slowly for the count of 4 counts for eccentric. And that strengthens the muscle in 3 different ways for that muscle. So the muscles have to be strong in isometric way, in a concentric way, and an eccentric way, as it's shortening and as it's lengthening. So that, to me, are basic principles, general principles of physical therapy. And I just wanted to share them today. And I'm going to open up the floor for any questions that we may have. Sometimes people put them in the comments, or sometimes there is a question in the sound room. But I will give people an opportunity. Any question? No questions today.
I have one question.
You do? Okay.
Oh, let me turn this down a little bit. So
That's Ruben.
Hi, everybody.
one of the
Yeah.
owners of HamiltonRadio.net, Iron Horse Films. Thank you,
No,
Ruben.
oh, definitely. Now, that was interesting between decentric and eccentric. Now? Okay. That's a great demonstration for eccentric and decentric, for your muscles.
Concentric and eccentric.
Right.
Yep.
What happens if you're doing that and if you get like a little spasm in your muscle or something like that, if that
So
happens?
while you're doing an exercise and you feel pain
Yeah.
and you think the muscle can't handle the move, then you need to maybe grab the other arm and support it
Okay.
and put down the weight, and then it might need to be stretched,
Oh, okay.
which is a stretch is actually lengthening the muscle. So for the biceps particularly, it's straightening the elbow and moving the shoulder back.
Oh, okay.
So that stretches
Stretches the muscle.
the biceps, long head and short head,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Oh, okay.
It may be that you're holding too much weight and the muscle can't handle that weight, and
Weight.
so it's telling you by creating a little
So
spasm.
spasm. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering because sometimes you think you could lift up more sometimes, and then you be like, oh, I feel a little sore or something like that.
Yeah, and so after lifting, after doing a workout of 8 to 12 repetitions and you're sore the next day, then you probably have, well, it's normal to be a little sore, but it's not normal to be sore that when you go to use your arm, it hurts every time.
Gotcha.
That's not normal. And that just means that you started the weight program with too much weight.
Oh, okay. So gradual growth is better.
Yeah, so my example said 2 pounds.
2 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, some people have to start with 1.
One.
Some people have to start with just moving the arm. And just moving against
Just
gravity
gravity.
itself.
Oh,
But
yeah.
once a person can do that repeatedly for 10 times, then we'll put a weight in their hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So those are good for like little warm-ups.
it's good to warm
Warm-
up
yeah.
without weight
Weight, everything.
and
Okay.
go through the range, and I think it's important to incorporate these general principles, like engaging the core as
Okay.
you move. Because remember, if you're going to move your shoulder, your arm, and you don't engage your core,
Uh-huh.
then what's happening is that there's no support. There's no support. And you will maybe feel it later.
Oh, yeah.
And so giving the support for the shoulder to move is actually what I teach.
Oh, okay. That's awesome advice.
Thank you,
Thank
Ruben.
you. Thank you, Doc.
Awesome. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Every now and then, come view my show, like my show, subscribe, share it. And if you have any questions, I look at the comments from time to time. So, communicate with me. And if you really want a session, an evaluation in the state of New Jersey, it's called direct access. You could walk right in. You can call, make an appointment at North Jersey Physical Therapy. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Thank you, HamiltonRadio.net, for hosting this wonderful platform. Thank you, Ruben. Awesome. Thanks.